welcome back to Yoga with Sarah Ford. This is an extra bonus video I wanted to create about sore wrists. So, I know as someone who's been practicing for a long time, there are some times where you do a lot of practices with your wrists and they can start to hurt, they can get tired, and this is a video just to help with some guidance towards avoiding that and making sure that you're taking care of your wrists. I first want to preface all this with saying that I am not a doctor, but I do know that there are a lot of special bones within your wrists and a lot of things happening here in this part of our body that it's very important to protect, and so we want to make sure that we're never doing anything that will cause damage in our wrist, especially if it can't be repaired. So if you have wrist injuries or you're prone to your wrist getting hurt, I always recommend going to your doctor first and listening to your body, figuring out what you can do with your wrists and what you shouldn't be doing and what you should avoid. So this video is just filled with different things to think about when doing poses that involve your wrists and different exercises to help stretch and strengthen a little bit of our little baby wrists. So the first thing is I'll take you through a stretch that can help just awaken the wrists that feel nice. So we're going to go into tabletop pose. If you don't know tabletop pose, you can check out my beginner series. Or I'll also just introduce it right here. Hips over knees, your shoulders are over your wrists like this. Feel that core engagement here, just like a table. And so for this wrist stretch, we're going to turn our hands, rotate it so that our fingertips are facing our knees, and we're keeping our palm on the mat. So just rotating that hand 180 degrees so that our fingertips are facing our knees, and you might feel just a little gentle stretch in the front of your wrist. And I think this is just a little nice stretch that we don't normally access typically in our day. And then we just come back to neutral tabletop. So you don't have to hold it that long, just a little bit to give it a little bit of an awakening. So after that, and when you do poses that do tire out your wrists, one thing I like to do is I just kind of let them flap around and I picture air surrounding and trying to guide my wrist so that it feels cushioned and protected, just to do a little flap and wake up. A lot of my new videos in the beginner series is going to be incorporating the hand position where your wrists are at 90 degrees and they can get sore, and so just doing a little delicate flapping I find can help, and doing some wrist circles also is good for stretching your wrists. And the last thing I want to say about poses that incorporate the use of our wrists is that our focus should be more on our fingertips as opposed to our wrists. So like when we're in these positions like tabletop and plank, any position like this, instead of thinking about our whole arm stacking on top of our hand, it's important to think about our fingertips kind of digging into the mat. If you've been a piano player and did piano lessons, and your teachers taught you to curve your fingers like this, it's a very similar thing where you're putting more pressure on your fingers than your wrist, so it takes off that pressure and it helps maintain a stronger pose. So that's what I just wanted to say about sore wrists and using our wrists in yoga. It's always important to listen to your body and make sure we're not pushing ourselves in a way that can cause damage later on. I know sometimes I wake up and I have a sore wrist, whether it's from how I slept or from yoga the day before, and so I try to be mindful in that day until my wrist feels 100% better. So I hope this helps for anyone that has sore wrists but wants to continue practicing yoga in a way that's safer and more mindful. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again on Sunday with my new beginner series video. Have a nice day. Namaste.